Hello, Sarita. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm also doing great. Thank you for concern. And since you are very first time to my channel, so you are very welcome. And I would love to listen about yourself.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me. Okay, so my name is Sarita. I belong to Himachal Pradesh, which is a beautiful hilly state, as you must know. And I am a homemaker, mother of two, and I have worked as a teacher in private school. And recently, I have started a new journey of teaching spoken English, especially to beginners and intermediate level learners. And as far as my hobbies are concerned, I love music. I like reading books, watching documentaries, and uh, gardening. And I like talking to people from different cultural backgrounds, especially about the food, culture, tradition, their ideas and mindset. And like from almost last 1 year, I have been consistently working on to brush up my communication skill. So that's in brief about me.
That's really amazing to listen about you. And it's really good that you are a, reader because I'm facing a lot of difficulties. When I start reading, I just stop in between. So
Okay, yeah, so you find it mundane, like reading, because many people find it a boring task.
no, it's not boring task for me. I really love reading, but I skipped in between. It happens with me many times because lack of time, maybe.
Yes, even I also like don't find much of the time, but sometimes uh, at the same time I read two or three books because I sometimes I also get bored of reading one book only because if you are reading a book, specific book, its vocabulary would be also specific about that thing. So at one time I read two or three books so that it doesn't feel bored to you, and you can get different kinds of vocabulary related to different fields.
Yeah, I also
So
read two, three
yeah.
books along with my bed. I thought I'll read one by one. So, but
Can you be a little bit louder?
you're not
Your
getting.
voice is very low.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it's okay now. My voice is okay.
Yeah, yeah, you are properly audible. So, I have jotted down some question for you. So, shall I begin?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous. What kind of questions you are going to ask from me? Okay, let's
No,
start.
they are general question I ask normally. You must aware
Okay.
about those. So, first, I like to know about your English learning journey. So, elaborate a little about it.
Now this explaining my English learning journey, this this has become kind of bored now because I think every day I'm talking about my English learning journey. But once more, okay, so my English learning journey started, I think, from my school time, because in my school time I learned this subject, or like all Indians, I learned English just as a subject. I used to get the good grades in grammar and English subject. But and up to 10th level, I studied from Hindi medium school of HP board, and that too in a village school. Okay, so I was underconfident. I didn't have the environment to speak English. And yes, but in 11th standard, I had to change my medium because I took this medical science and it was in English only. So I had to change the medium. After that, I studied my 12th and graduation, and even post graduation through English medium. Okay, but that was just related to my subject. All the vocabulary, everything was related to, and like even though in this journey of my studies, I became good at writing and reading too. So, but I never spoke this language. I didn't ever get the environment of English speaking. So I never spoke this language, though I used to sometimes listen to some English content. But and then I think I will say that my real journey of English spoken started when I started giving interviews for my teaching job. So that time, at the interview time, I used to face a lot of problem while speaking. I could not hold the like communication for a long time. I used to fumble. I used to look for the words, what word now I should. So that was my condition, like a totally beginner kind of. So that way, I did job for some years, and after that, like after having kids, I left the job, and then for 10, 12 years, I didn't do any job. And yeah, sometimes throughout this journey of my parenting, sometimes I used to watch English cartoons with my son, and even I was like I like watching English movies, and so that's why for improving my communication skill and that to just to check that how much I can understand when native speakers, because they speak very fast and in very sometimes in very low voice, so we are not, but like I felt like I could understand only 70 to 80%, or 20% I was not able to figure out like understand what they're saying. So because they are very fluent, native speakers are very fluent, so that was my listening practice. Once in a while I used to do listening practice too, but then after 10, 12 years I joined my kids school. I restarted my career as a teacher. I joined a school, and in that school spoken English was compulsory for the teachers. So my actual journey started just 2, 3 years back when I joined, restarted my career. In that school, spoken English was compulsory. So I had to speak in English every day. I was speaking in English, and in this way I got the real environment for speaking English with the people. I those in At the starting I found it difficult. I used to fumble, but after 3, 4 months I saw improvement in myself, in my fluency and my confidence. Then slowly and gradually, like I didn't do any practice at home, but yes, I was practicing at home. I was talking to people in English in school with my colleagues and with the administrative people. So that was my practice. But then after 1 year I left the job because of some reason. We shifted back to our native place, and then again I thought of like just to be in touch with the language so that I don't lose my fluency. I joined English Yari. So yes, I joined English Yari, and after that, this journey has become like consistent. After from last July or maybe August, I am consistently working on to brush up my communication skill, and now this is my level. Like now, I can say that I'm a little bit fluent. I'm confident on whichever topic I have to talk. So this is my journey, and now I have started like working as a online tutor. So that's it about my journey.
Yeah, that's really inspiring. And one thing I got to know from your journey, like you switch your medium from 10th standards. So didn't you face
Yes.
any challenge when you directly switched to English medium from Hindi medium?
Yes, I faced a lot of challenges, and even that time, no internet was there, no chat GPT, nothing, was just a dictionary. So sometimes I had to use the dictionary to find out the meaning, because up to 10th level, we studied as a government school children. We studied English from I think third or fourth onwards. So that was the condition. I had to face a lot of problem, but anyhow I could cope up with all the situations, and I could do that.
Yes.
But yes, initially I found a lot of I was very underconfident, because I had come from the village to the city school, and some children were from English medium school. So initially I used to feel underconfident and shy. Lots of things were there, but I did not give up. Some of the students which had come from with me from the village, they also took the science, but they left that subject after some days. They left the subject. They said that no, we cannot, it's a whole in English, and so like big books, we cannot just cope up with it, so we are leaving. So I was left alone, but still I didn't give up. And yeah, I faced that situation.
If we understand the value of consistency, then we never give up. And giving up is not the
Yes.
solution, it's saying.
Yes. Like my nature was kind of that if once I have decided something, whatever the problem I'll have to face, I'll face, I'll fight, I'll prove myself, and but I'll not give up. Like if once I have decided to do something, so that's my nature.
Yeah, you are true,
So
true
I did not.
inspiration for other ladies as well.
Maybe I also get inspired from others,
Yeah,
from a lot of people. Yes.
yeah. Like you said, you have started teaching online. So, did you ever get any student who just started their journey initially? I mean, beginner students. So, how do you teach them? I mean,
Yes, they were kind of my students were kind of beginners. So my technique is that just for 30 days, 1 month, just speak. Every day, different topic you have to speak. Whatever. Sometimes we include daily conversation related to that person, like your daily routine. Explain what do you work, what is about your work, what do you do whole day at your office, something like that. Means that is related to that person only. Some incidents which happened with you because they feel related when we talk about ourselves and the whatever our routine is and whatever happened to us, or sometimes maybe some old story related to us, or maybe something else, and some incidents that happened in your life that is still like you remember that incidents. So I not just topic like that, different kind of topics on different fields. Sometimes like I also include the topics related to our life, some incidences in life, some good, some bad, like this. So the student or the person feel related and they think about it. So when we start thinking, they get new vocabularies, they find new vocabularies to learn. So this is for 1 month we just speak, and after that sometimes I also include little bit grammar, some topics related to grammar too. And while using the daily conversation, I explain grammar, not just by using the rules. So we use some sentences related to daily conversation so that it becomes interesting to learn grammar as well.
yeah, but there are some person who are not able to, utter a single sentence. So, don't you think it's very challenging to teach them without grammar how to construct a sentence?
Well, actually, for those beginners who also cannot utter a single sentence, I have not taught them yet. But yes, if these kinds of students will approach me, then I will start. I will start from some words, vocabulary words, day-to-day words that we have to use in our day-to-day conversation, word by word, and then small sentence by sentence. I will teach them. And because, you just take the example of toddlers, children, how they speak the language, how they learn speaking language. They just see their elders speaking, they copy them, they practice it, they repeat it. So copying, practicing, and repeating. These are the practices. These are the activities which a person which is totally beginner he uses. So every day I will give some day to day sentences and some vocabulary related to house, household chores. If the student is a homemaker, so related to her work, her household chores, about kids, about home, all these vocabulary I will give her to and revise them, and then small sentences as well. Okay, so for example, when you will get up in the morning, you will say, "Now I get up. I get up at 5 in the morning. I'm getting up. I'm going to the kitchen." Like think whatever we think during the whole day, just think in English and then try to translate it in English. Like how I will say, if I'm going to the kitchen, how you will say. Just say it that I'm going to the kitchen now. I have to prepare this. So we will not focus on grammar initially, and yes, so it is just speaking. We will have to include if the students are beginners, we have to start with the speaking. Speaking, then repeat, practice every day. This is the method how you learn a language.
We can take baby steps.
Yes, baby steps we
Baby
have to take
sentence
definitely.
we can introduce. Yeah,
And then everyday listen to
is really.
English content, listen to the podcast, whatever you like to listen, you can listen. Sometimes even you can listen to songs, but songs are like real little bit fast. Later on, after 1 or 2 months of practicing, you can also include that technique too. So that's the method that I would think that if the person would be totally like he or she doesn't know how to read, how to write, or just they have to start from the zero, then I would use this technique.
So there are like in the market, there are lot of institutes are there who just claim like within 60 days, within 90 days, we are teaching a spoken English course. So do you in favor of them or not?
Actually, we cannot claim that. I would say if a person has to start from the scratch, at least 6 months would be required for that. I would say that if you are starting from the scratch, you are not good at writing and reading, and you are not able to make the even simple basic sentences of English, then I would say that 6 months. If you will be consistent about your journey, about your practices, then 6 months would take place. Yes, I can claim that.
I have notices they give means on regular basis they give you 15-20 sentences for translations every day. They are introducing you 10-15 new words, vocabs, and in a form of the verbs. So every day they introduce you something. So a person can little level up, but it's not guaranteeing that one can speak
But
within 3 months or 6 months.
it depends on the person, how much dedicated a person is to learn something. Maybe it can also happen. Maybe he can also become fluent within 3 or 4 months if consistently he would practice every day. Then it may also happen. Nothing is impossible. So, but I cannot claim that. I would say that at least 6 months would be required.
Yeah, even some students are there who are not able take after taking class of 6 months, they are not able to speak. Some students are there. Like in a class, teacher gives same lecture to 40 students, but some are there who stood at first positions and some are there who get very less marks because of their individual efforts. Right?
Yes, yes. And it is their learning pace. Everyone is different. Some learn very fast, some are slow learners. So it depends on their pace too, dedication, and how much practice they do every day, their consistency, because consistency plays a very crucial role that we already know. So, yes.
Do you feel real life English and talking on audio or video? Is there any difference? Is it challenging to talk directly in real life?
Yes, I would say that if you will get the real life situations to talk with the people, you will learn faster, much faster than you speaking to the people online or something like that. Because online also we discuss some topics, and in everyday conversation we have to speak like different kinds of things. So yes, I would say that because I got the real situations when I started speaking. I was speaking in the real situation with the real people. So I think that is more effective than to talk to the people on phone or on video calls. Yes.
It is said like if you get the environment, automatically you get along with it, right? And you started speaking
Yes.
automatically. But it did not happen with me when I got the environment in my second job. So I started feeling embarrassment because I was not able to speak a single sentence that time. And I did not have much idea about grammar. And already I was speaking in Hindi. If I had joined the office, then I started speaking in English, then I could do that. But I couldn't speak. So in the environment also, you should be little confident, right?
Yes, I think because you said that you are not confident about the grammar, and I think there was no compulsion. Talking in English was no compulsion in your organization. So you had the option to talk in Hindi as well if there was no compulsion. But in my school, there was compulsory to talk in English. So whatever you have to speak, you have to open your mouth, you have to speak in English. So and there were many teachers were there whose grammar was not good. I would say that their grammar was 40-50% grammar they knew, but they were speaking every day. So I thought that after 3-4 months, I observed those teachers that they have gained the fluency. They are speaking nicely. Still, they didn't know the grammar rules. So this is the effect of practice consistently.
You introduced here one very important point, that is compulsion. If we go abroad and they are not
Yes.
able to understand Hindi, so we have to speak in English. But if we get the
Yes,
option,
you
we can
will put
speak in English,
efforts. You
we
will
go
think some
forward.
new words. Yes. So that is because I also said that there was compulsion. So I had no other option. If I have to speak, I have to speak in English. So yes, that is also kind of motive, kind of force that pushes you.
Did you ever face any burnout, like fed up by speaking English? And then how do you motivate yourself?
Actually, I don't get fed up because we are just speaking in English with our co-learners, with our students, and with the YouTubers on the online conversations. But otherwise, at our home, I'm with my husband and my kids and my all relatives. I speak in Hindi. So that's why I'm not fed up. I'm just enjoying this journey.
Yeah, I think I couldn't ask a question in proper way. My question was that like initial level, when we are not able to speak English and we have doubt on ourselves, like it happens at
Okay.
initial
At
level.
that
That
time,
time
if
how
I talk about myself, if I talk about myself, I was able to frame the sentences grammatically correct. Most of the time, I was able to frame, though my fluency was not good because I had also started speaking. But because of my grammatical knowledge, I was able to make the correct sentences. That was the secret of my confidence, my grammatical knowledge. So that was it, and we were not talking on for so long or for on the big topics. Just that if I have to talk to my colleague, I have to say, "Hi, how are you? How are you doing today? Have you checked your notebooks? What's going on?" Like that, small sentences, not big conversations were going on there. We know that in private schools we are so much busy in our work, so we were not talking for long. So just but small sentences, basic sentences we were talking about. But in that way, because every day from 9 to 3 p.m. You have to speak in English, then obviously you will get improvement in your fluency.
it's only practice is the only mantra.
Yes. Yes, practice is the only mantra behind it. Because, see, if I see my journey, I have been like learning this language as a subject from third standard of my school. So how many is like for so many years we are learning this language. I can read, I can write, but what was the most important thing? We were never talking in English. We never talked in English. So but now we are talking so much. Like I always say that as much English I speak within a week, I have not spoken in last 15-20 years. So that's the reason we were not focusing, we were not giving importance to speaking. Then how we expected from us that we'll be able to, just by knowing the grammar and knowing just reading and writing, we'll be able to speak, is able to speak. Because speaking we have not practiced, so how we could be able to speak. We didn't paid attention to speaking part. We never did. So that's why mostly Indians, they know English, they have read English, they can write English, but they cannot speak because they are not speaking. That's why lack of practice.
We are very familiar with English because for 12, 15 years, we had an English subject. So we have, learned lots of question answer, advertisement, notice, application, essay, topic. So we have learned a lot already. So we just need to open our mouth. Right?
Yes. So just and we have never spoken English. We have just read it. So yes, it was just the lack of practice.
Even how much grammar we have learned, a native speaker, they are not aware about these whole grammars. What grammar we have learned.
Yes. Yes, and there are some complicated sentences like related to would have, should have, like those. Sometimes also we get confused because we are not using much these type of sentences in our daily conversation. So yet it happens.
And how much importance would you give to grammar while teaching English or learning English?
Grammar is also crucial if you want to become advanced speaker, public speaker. You have to study. And you have to you have to read the literature and all that. So for that you need a grammar. You should need at some point, after some point, that you need grammar, because you cannot become an advanced speaker and public speaker, and you cannot talk about the special kind of topics or special kinds of things without knowing the grammar. So when you become little bit fluent, you become confident. Now you can speak the basic English, simple English. You know the sentence structure. Then after that, you should start little bit in learning grammar too.
And I am
Yes, I
noticing
would say.
who doesn't start with grammar, who don't know grammar, so they take a lot of time to speak. You agree with this point?
Yes, because maybe sometimes because they think that I have to learn grammar first. So sometimes they buy books, they read books, then they find it boring. They don't understand, and many people find it boring just to learn the grammatical rules, especially after their school life. In this, when they are adults, they find it boring to read a grammatical book. So that's why many people find it, and maybe very few people find it okay, by studying the rules and all that, I will frame the correct sentences, I'll not face any problem regarding to grammar. But most of the people, as I have seen, that they find it boring, so that's why they prefer spoken English. They just want to speak English.
I'm one of the grammar lover. I can spend full day with grammar.
Okay, you are grammar lover.
Yeah.
So from your school time you liked grammar, or now you are liking it?
In my school times, I did not remember properly, but yes, in my 8th standard, I learned the all rules related to tenses, because of one day my sister told me tenses is like, if you learn the tenses, so it means you know the English. So within a day, I learned all the rules of tenses, and since that, it is in my mind. It was firmly established in my mind since my 8th standard. But then also I was not able to fill the correct form of the verbs in my 10th standard. So I learned a lot of form of the verbs and all. But that time I was not aware about small topic like types of noun. There are proper noun, common noun, material noun. So I did not know deeply about it. And infinitive, gerund, participles, these topics were, refrained from me. But later on, I learned.
Because at that time, I feel like the teachers did not correlated both the subject, both the languages, Hindi and English. Because as noun, I think in Hindi it is called sangya. So they always, whenever they used to teach us, they should have correlated these two languages so that we can understand. Because at our home, our mother tongue was Hindi. Okay, and maybe Haryanvi and Punjabi and all. So our mother tongue was Hindi. We would understand it deeply and clearly if they would make it related, both the subjects. So they should have taught like that, but they didn't do that time. So we people did not feel related with the language. It was not related to their daily conversation. So yes, that time this technique was lacking. They were just used to teach just in the subjective knowledge.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I learned in this way only. Because after completing 12th, I started teaching primary students, and I learned a lot from their books. Then I got to know, okay, this
Yes.
noun, why this is proper noun, because it's a particular name. That's why it's a proper noun. Because in second standard, book, there is a topic you have to circle out the proper noun and common nouns. So that's why I learned from their books. And in this way, I also teach in the same way. That's why my student give me feedback, like whenever they feel like it's a game. So they feel happy learning grammar. They are more curious to know the grammar. And I also find lot of interest. I'm always curious to know more and more related to grammar.
Because nowadays, like syllabus is also kind of like it is easy to explain. Books are also printed very well, very attractive, and they use lots of pictures, lots of kind of emojis to like make any word understandable to the students. So nowadays, and now children can watch the videos as well, so that they can learn, they can understand the what is the meaning of any particular word or like this. So, but earlier books were also boring. Not much pictures were there, so that's why. And teacher also used to give that bookish knowledge only. They didn't used to relate it with the daily conversation, our daily life. So that was, we used to find little bit boring as well.
Yes, when my son read a book, he never check any meaning. He said, I can infer the meaning from the word itself. From the context, we can understand easily. But I
Yes,
had the
yes.
habit, if I don't understand the exact meaning of particular word, I just check. What is the word? What is the synonym? How to use in different context? I have the habit. So for completing one page, I take lot of time. And he complete a book within 2-3 days. So that's why he
Yes,
have read
yes.
more than 40 books and I have not
Because
completed.
they were yes, because they did not learn grammars first. They learned just direct sentences. They knew from the sentences, from the text, they know that what is the word's meaning. Grammar they know later. Earlier we used to feel that what's that, my child doesn't know its meaning, and they are teaching them full sentences and all that. But it is the effective way.
So we have left 7 minutes only. So if you have any question, you
Okay.
can ask me.
Okay, question I would ask, like, because last time I asked, I think, a lot of questions from you. Okay, so what is the practice that you still follow, still you are following for improving, brushing up your communication skill?
Yeah,
What practices you
I
follow?
just make audio call when I get time. I just make audio call, and when I listen video conversation, I listen video conversation when I do my household chores. I just put my headphone, then I listen the conversation. So whatever new word I get, so I just note it down. I learn the word and try to implement in my conversation now. So these two practice I am taking, and whenever I get connected through video session, then I book the session. So and nothing else I'm practicing. Yes, I talk to my daughter in real life. So earlier
So she
talking with my
she
son.
talks in English, or she says that no, I don't want to talk.
Yeah, she's interested. Even she said, please, I want to have a session with Addie. Addie, you know, the Kanchan Kesari's daughter.
Okay, I have not listened.
Yeah, one day I booked her session
Heard about it.
with that Asis,
Okay.
but that time the Addie directly was not giving the session. Some other teachers, they have provided other teachers, so she was not interested in. She thought Addie will provide the session, so she wants to learn English.
Okay, how old she is?
She's 5 years old.
5 years old, because when children are small, like 10 up to 10, 12 years, they like talking in English, especially girls, I would say, especially girls like talking in English, even my daughter also. But like my son, because now he has entered in the teenage, he's 15 now. So he says that why to show off, why we have to talk in English, like
Yeah.
are we Angrez, are we Britishers? Give like we should give respect to our mother tongue. So I will talk in Desi language, I will talk in Hindi. Though he can speak Hindi, I have heard him talking in English when he plays the video games. That time he speaks very good English. But if I will say if I will talk in English with him, he will say, first you talk in English, first you talk in Hindi, then I will respond. Otherwise, I will not speak. He says like that. Because now he has that kind of attitude that why we should talk in English. This is not our language. This is Britishers' language. This is like, but sometimes I may make him understand that this is the global language now. We have to speak in English if we go out of our country for the profession, for traveling purpose, then, or this is the only language, then we can connect to the people. So you should give importance to the language. It is not just like that it is Britishers' language. It has been a global language now. So, but still, he says that no, at home I will speak in English when it is needed. Otherwise, no, I don't like to show off with. I don't like those people who show off by speaking English. What is the need? If it is needed, then they should speak. Otherwise, they should not. So
We
he
are
has
sailing,
this kind of views.
we are sailing on the same boat. My son is also 14 plus. So he also
Okay.
the same thing what you said. So he feels like you have making
Boys
English
are
a
like
big
that. I have
issue.
seen this thing that
Big
boys
issue,
don't like to
nothing.
talk in English.
Yeah, it's nothing so important. Whenever we need it, we can talk. So we don't need to practice
Yes.
like you. It's a kind of illiterate people practice. So you always say
Yes, and yes, one day I told him that okay, like speak something about your place. If you say that I can speak in English, speak something about. And when he started speaking, he spoke amazing. Like he used so advanced sentence structure. I was amazed. I thought that oh really he can speak. If he has to speak, he can speak. Like because they have little environment in school. They every subject they are studying in English since nursery KG, so their English are good. They have little bit kind of atmosphere, and even when he was small, up to like fifth standard, I used to talk with them in English while making them study. I used to talk in English, and I had made them learn all the vocabulary. Since they were born, I had made them learn all the vocabulary in English. They learned English vocabulary first, and then after that, they learned Hindi automatically because they knew when they like where they were small they knew we call it curtains but they learned the curtains ko parda bolte hain. They learned it later. All the Hindi vocabulary they learned later because I knew they will learn Hindi because everyone except me they are speaking in Hindi with them or it's only me who will speak in English. So that's why I made them learn all the vocabulary, all the words related to them, related to house, everything, whatever they see, whatever they used to see, I used to learn I used to make them learn in English. So it also had this is also an effective way to teach English.
Yeah, I also
Yes.
gave the same normat. I introduced him with lots of vocab and grammar, but I never gave him a spoken environment. But in case of my daughter, I'm trying to give her there's a spoken environment. So now she speaks.
Yes, my daughter is also interested. She many times she at the evening time we had have a walk and then she says, "Okay, Mama, tell me about this thing." Okay, you tell me about this thing, then I will tell some other topic. So like that way we have English conversation, and she's also interested.
Yeah, you exactly spoke my mind whenever we have evening talk. So I just ask her, please recite me this table, tell me the meaning. Sometimes we play word game. I say one word, then she say next word. So because she's very small, so
Okay.
she can't understand actually English, but she understand a lot. Whatever I talk to
Hmm.
her, I speak to her, so she understand and she also speaks a little. So that's good if you give the
Hmm.
environment to a child.
No, that's good. It will improve. It will definitely help her to make her confident about her speaking. So we should provide because we know that they will learn Hindi automatically. They will learn from the environment, from the other people, from. So yes, but English environment, no one will provide them except us if we will not put efforts. So that's interesting.
Now it's the time to wind up the session before it ended abruptly.
Okay, okay, Anju, thank you so much for inviting me. I loved the session fully. And yeah, I would like to connect with you again too.
And thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a good day ahead. Bye bye.
Same to you. Bye.